I know that I'm trying to make a change and I know that I'm doing a good thing, so I'm going to keep going. Hi, I'm Leigh-Anne Pinnock and I'm here today to talk about finding your voice. For a lot of years within the group, I felt very overlooked and invisible. I carried these feelings for such a long time, and I actually remember breaking down to Andre, my fiance, and just getting really upset because I just felt like no matter what I did, it was never on par with the other girls in the group. And then the Black Lives Matter movement happened, and all of a sudden the whole world was talking about race. And I felt like it was time for me to talk about my experiences, be open and just let it all go. And I remember my sister calling me and saying, Leigh-Anne, do a video, just open up and just tell everyone how you've been feeling. I always had the confidence inside, like it was always there, but being open, it kind of like, it unlocked it and it allowed me to be the Leigh-Anne that I was always supposed to be. I feel like it is so important for people to speak out if they see any injustices, if they're experiencing anything themselves or if they see it firsthand. It's very natural to be scared to speak out. It's something that I went through. I was scared that people just weren't gonna understand. But I think when I did, I felt a weight just lift. And opening up about my own experiences just helped me to deal with it better. There's always people around for you to speak to, and imagine if everyone spoke out about injustices, we would be in a better place, I think. And even when the whole Black Lives Matter movement happened and the whole world was talking about race, like it was something that I've never seen in my lifetime. It felt like things were moving forward and things were actually, like we were working towards some sort of change. I think for too long, people have been scared to say things, people have been scared to offend people or say the wrong thing. You know what, you might say the wrong thing, like I might say the wrong thing, but we're all learning, and how are we ever gonna see any type of change if we don't? I've learned to have more conviction in my voice. It didn't come instantly, like I've had to work to get here. I completely lost my confidence within the group. Like I had to rebuild it. And it's only now, at the age of 29, where I feel unstoppable. Like I feel like I've gained it all back and my voice feels more powerful than ever. I do feel like it's a process. You do just have to keep striving on and believe in your power. I think that's the key for me. Like the moment I started believing in my power was the moment it all changed for me. I've been in talks about doing the documentary for about 3 years. It's called Raise, Pop and Power. And yeah, I almost feel like a different person from doing it. I always knew that I wanted to be open and honest about my experiences, and everything that I've been holding on to for so many years is kind of now gone, really. It was a very hard and long process, but yeah, I'm just really proud that I got through it and it's out there into the world. I wasn't going to do a documentary about racism touching on colorism without Andre addressing the tweets that he did. I think it was really important for Andre to show how he'd grown as a person, how he'd educated himself, and it wasn't the person that I met. I really felt like it was time that he addressed it and he spoke about it. And I was really proud at how open he was. He is a different person now, and sometimes I think confronting that is a really brave thing to do. So yeah, I was happy that he was able to talk about it. I don't feel like I ever felt like I wanted to give up. I did have a lot of fuel in me to keep going. And the outcome I wanted, I knew that I wanted to keep educating myself and keep learning. I wanted to address colorism, but through the eyes of darker skinned women and getting their experiences and their accounts of it. And I really also wanted to address the fact that if I was some shades darker, I probably wouldn't have even been put into the group. Obviously the documentary hadn't been out yet, and I was receiving all these comments about being mixed race and talking about colorism. That was a big obstacle I had to face on my journey, but I remember going to see Dawn Butler. I'll never forget it. She said, when the history books are written, what's going to be said next to your name? And to see the hatred that Dawn was getting online and the abuse that she gets just kind of made me think, she is so strong and I know I can do this as well. I'm always going to get backlash from people. There's always going to be people saying negative things and no one's always going to agree with what you're doing or what you're saying. but I know that I'm trying to make a change, and I know that I'm doing a good thing, so I'm going to keep going. I tend to ignore criticism now. I think you're always going to get it. You're always going to experience it in life. Even when you are doing something good, that there's always going to be backlash, and there's always going to be people saying negative things, but you just have to rise above it and just ignore it like I've done, and just think, you know what, I'm doing a good thing and I'm going to keep going. But I think at the same time, like, it is always it's important to keep learning, and if you have said something wrong, or if you have done something maybe you shouldn't have done, then yeah, learn from that and learn from the criticism. When I set out doing my documentary, I didn't just want to speak about it. I wanted to take action and do something. I am really proud at the diversity that I now see around me on my team at work. I have been on and on at my team for months and months, and finally I'm seeing a change. And I went to work the other day, I had 2 shoots, and I looked around and I saw people that look like me. This has never happened before for 10 years. And I've been a part of that change, so I feel really proud about that. And that is just something as simple as just using my voice and being on at people and not taking no for an answer. I have been in Little Mix for 10 years, and it's been some of the best years of my life. Like, I've just had the most amount of fun, and we are still best friends, sisters, so tight, and I think that's what's so special about us. Whenever I do something on my own, it is always quite daunting, because it's almost like I never fully stood on my own 2 feet. So actually doing the documentary, dealing with such a huge issue on my own, was a little bit scary, but I knew I had to do it. Like, this was my issue that I had to tackle. Going through that kind of on my own, I guess, made me stronger. I guess I feel less scared to stand on my own 2 feet now. Little Mix could never die, like, ever. Like, we just love what we do so much, and we love each other so much. So whatever we decide to do as a group, yeah, we're excited to do our own solo things alongside it. I feel like I've come so far in 10 years. Like, when I look at that young girl, little Leigh-Anne, at the beginning, coming into this world and this industry, just sort of being catapulted into it without even a thought, and just seeing myself now and how I've grown is just like, oh, it's mad, it's amazing. I'm proud that I've been so open. I'm proud that I've really spoken out, and I've become so much more confident. The fact that I can use my voice now to help others and use my experience to help others, I think I feel really good about that. A quote that I always love is, if not you, who? If not now, when? Just believe in yourself. Like, I've had so many setbacks, even before the group, people telling me that I couldn't do it, that I'd never amount to anything, I wasn't ever gonna achieve my dreams. And I kept going, I kept believing. I never let it affect me, and I do believe, like, that's why I'm sat here now. Everything I do and I try to do, I try to do it with conviction, and it's all about just believing, I think. I feel like, obviously, racism directly affected me, so naturally I wanted to fight that fight, and I wanted to speak up on it and see change. But I think there are so many issues in this world, there's so many injustices, there's so much going wrong, and there's so much to fight for. I don't think I ever want to limit myself and say I'm only going to fight for one thing. Like, I think this is just the beginning of me using my voice. The thing that I want to teach my child is to be confident, to know how incredible they are, to know how beautiful they are, to know that they can achieve anything. In reality, yes, like, I will teach them about Black history, I'll teach them that the world can be an unfair place, but at the same time, nothing is going to stop them. Like, they are going to achieve their dreams, and they can achieve their dreams, and they can be whatever they want to be. So the reason I wanted to work with One Young World is because when I was growing up and the years within the band, like, it took me quite a while to find my voice. That's why when I look at all these young leaders, like, that are using their voice and taking the time to implement change. I think it's so inspiring, and I love the fact that One Young World are there to support that and there to amplify their voices. I want a better world for me, I want a better world for my children and their children. I want to see change, and so do they, so I just felt like it was a perfect alignment for me. Another thing that I'm proud of is the foundation that I founded called the Black Fund. It's the foundation that I have created with my fiance, my sister Sarah, and Jay. It's basically a foundation to try and bridge the inequality gap. And we've recently just partnered with One Young World to support 2 young leaders who are speaking about racial injustices. The scholarship is called Investing in Equality, and we are looking for 2 young Black leaders who are either trying to break into the creative industry or fighting against racial injustice. We want to invite them down to the summit in 2022 in Tokyo, and all proceeds from the t-shirts will go directly to sponsoring that scholarship and to funding the scholarship. And yeah, I think we're just really excited to see how the Black Fund is going to grow. I always said that I wanted to actively do something to see change and not just speak about it. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it will end up.